Yo, 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 yo. We live, man. What's good, everyone? Hope you guys had a good day so far. Just going to wait a few more moments, let a few more people jump into the live stream. We got an interesting one tonight. I probably should have done this a while back, been caught up with all the drama, you know what I mean? Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and all that good fun. But you know what? It's time to get to the root of what divine sense stemmed from. And that is talking about that sweet science breakdown fights. Talk about that boxing. You know what I mean? So, first, I want to let everyone know why I chose to choose this topic, not only because I, quite frankly, want to talk about boxing. I can talk about anything, but sometimes I get the itch. You know what I mean? I get the itch to talk some boxing and chop it up. But also because if you didn't know, I put a poll up on my channel. I let it run for about 12 hours. And the results came back as such. I'll go ahead and share the results so you guys know where it stands. So you guys know. We're going to get into it real quick. Naman, what's good, man? Dejuan, not sure if I pronounced that right. Thanks for dropping by. I'm not sure if you're subscribed to the channel or not. If you're not, consider subscribing. Stay a part of the conversation. All right. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look here so you guys can see what the poll results were that I put on my channel. And I said, what would you like to listen to in my next live? Pacquiao versus Spence got 37%. Canelo versus Plant got 5%. Joshua versus Usyk got 15%. And then Fury says he's not to blame, which is a headline that came out earlier this morning. It got 33%. And tell us a story about your world travels got 10%. So there it is, guys. Pacquiao versus Spence edged it out by 4%. So here we are. It's happening. We're about to debate Pacquiao versus Spence. So also, if you guys don't know, I've already made 2 videos about this fight. One video entitled, I believe it's Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence, fight prediction and breakdown, part 1. I talked about different things in that video. I brought up Floyd Mayweather and how he's relevant in this fight. I brought up Keith Thurman and how I saw that fight with Manny Pacquiao and things like that. It's a 20-minute video, but it's very interesting. So it's on my channel, but the one video that I would rather recommend would be part 2, where I have it entitled Spence Will Outpoint Pacquiao. Here's why. All right, so that's the one I recommend you guys go and watch because I put a lot of intricate details into that video. And I really broke it down point by point on why I personally think that Spence will win this fight. But, I leave the debate open for the people to come in and express their thoughts. And if you want to jump in, the link is dropped here above. You can wait backstage and we can talk about it. If you want to slip my jab, then we can debate it. And you can tell me why you think I'm wrong and why you think Manny Pacquiao will win the fight. Or maybe you agree with me and you think Spence will win. And you can jump on and tell me why you think Spence will win. Regardless, you can either slip my jab if you don't agree with me and drop a super chat. And I'll read whatever it is that you want me to read. Or if you just want to show some love to the channel, drop a super chat as well. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Freddie Ruger, what's good, man? Good to see you as always. SM was good, man. Good to see you as well. So I was just telling the people here that I've already made 2 videos. If you're a subscriber of mine, you probably already know, you probably already watched. Got part 1 and part 2 talking about this fight. If I had to choose one, I would say go watch part 2. That's a bit more straight to the point. Part 1, I kind of talk about a lot of different things, not just the fight itself. So if you want something that's more straight to the point, go watch part 2. All right. So let me go ahead and give you guys my overall thoughts, right, about this fight. First thing I want to do is go ahead, what I like to do when I get on live and we talk about fights, we talk about particular fighters. One thing I like to do is look at the tail of the tape, look over some details, remind people of things they may have missed or maybe didn't know or maybe they forgot. And that's usually how I do it. So I'm going to start with Errol Spence first. And a lot of people already know Pacquiao pretty well. I mean, he's been around for a long time. A lot of people have been following his career. So that's why I want to start with Errol Spence, because I think there may be some details, like I said, that have been forgotten or missed or whatever it may be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share Errol Spence's information here so we can look over it together, just as a gentle reminder. All right. So first, the tail of the tape. All right. So first, the tail of the tape. This is what I want to point out that I feel like is very, very important. First is his height. Okay. He's 5'9.5" with the reach of 72 inches. That's a very solid size for a welterweight. Okay, I want people to understand that, like, if you were to choose the perfect size and reach for a welterweight, that's it right there. It doesn't get much better than that, right? Under 6 foot, but above 5'8", and 72-inch reach is very good. Very good for that frame, basically. To put it in comparison, I mean, you can even compare it to myself. I'm about 5'10", and I've got a 74-inch reach, but there's no way I can fight at 147. I can tell you that right now. So if I were to jump into the ring in some type of boxing celebrity match, maybe with counter punch boxing, I would probably go into the fight around maybe 165, and I would have to cut weight. So I'm just throwing that out there so people understand that Errol Spence is a solid and quite arguably a big welterweight. All right. So that's that. What most people have seen already and know is that he's 27-0 with 21 knockouts. Okay. His amateur boxing record is stellar. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see the small print, but I'll go ahead and read it off for you. He won the Golden Gloves in 2009 as a welterweight. He got a silver in 2010 as a welterweight. But what stands out to me the most is the U.S. National Championships. He won it 3 years in a row, 2009, 2010, and 2011. And just a little cherry on the top, he won the U.S. National PAL Games or PLL Championships. All gold medals, straight through. So in 2010, he won 2 different gold medals in 2 different competitions, the PALs and the National Championships. That's stellar, okay? And cannot be pushed to the side. This right here is one of the main reasons why, not only his size that I pointed out, but also his experience in the amateur ranks is why he's where he's at today. Because he has developed an extraordinary foundation and has really honed in his skills. Okay. And it shined through very early coming up through the ranks. His first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His first 10 fights, he had 8 KOs. He was 10-0 with 8 KOs. So he literally propelled himself from a stellar performance in the amateur ranks and went straight into the pros with 10 fights and 8 KOs. And then I think in his 15 fights, he probably had something like 12 KOs. But I think you guys get the point. Now, let's go into something more recent that people would be familiar with. All right. Let's take a pause. All right, cool. Everybody still with me? Perfect. If you guys are just joining the live stream, thanks for stopping by. We're just getting heated here. I'm just going over Errol Spence's record and the tail of the tape, and we're just starting to get into the thick of things. You know what I mean? So you came in just in time. In the meantime, if any point while I'm talking, because I'm reading, so I don't really see the chats all the time, if you want to get a point across and get it highlighted, send me a super chat. I'll make sure you get noticed. Also, at the top of this chat, I dropped a link. I'll go ahead and do it one more time. If you want to join this conversation, first come, first serve, click that link and you'll wait backstage. All right. We'll keep it moving. So, something a bit more recent that people would know more of, obviously, is he won the IBF title against Kell Brook. KO in 11. He defended that title against Lamont Peterson, Carlos Ocampo, Mikey Garcia, which I feel, in my personal opinion, is a fantastic win. Right? Then he defended it against Sean Porter. And at that time, Sean Porter was shaking things up in the welterweight division, another stellar win. And in that fight, he also took the WBC. So he's defended the IBF 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And he also won the WBC when he beat Sean Porter. And then, of course, his last fight was against Danny Garcia. And he retained both the WBC and the IBF. Now, in the fight against Pacquiao, he's defending the WBC and IBF. And he's going to fight for the vacant ring welterweight title. So, if Errol Spence beats Manny Pacquiao, he claims the 3 big belts, in my opinion. The 3 big belts, well, I wouldn't say that. I would personally say it's WBC, WBO, the ring. But nonetheless, he's on his way to basically conquering the welterweight division. All right. So, there it is, guys. There's his resume. We just walked over it. I already went over his amateur background. If you just joined in, 3-time national champion at welterweight. We looked at his tail of the tape, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch reach. Very solid frame and size for a welterweight. He's a big boy, man. He's bigger than what people realize, Errol Spence. And you see it in his punching power. All right. So, there's Errol. Now, six-pack was good. Carlos Corona was good. Divine, as Errol Spence fan, he really is the truth, and Pacquiao will see that man down. Okay, the man called it. Sky Droganov. Spence gonna get cooked. Laugh out loud. Spence can't even deal with Pillow Hands Porter. Ooh, that's rough. Pillow Hands Porter. That's mean, bro. What's up, Cristiano? Danny, good win. Porter, good win. Mikey, okay win. Carlos, okay win. Brooke, great win. Bundo, okay win. I'm okay with that, I guess. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that assessment. I put Mikey up there a little bit higher, though. The only reason why I can't is Mikey's not really a welterweight. That's the problem, or at least not then he wasn't. All right, so let's go over Pacquiao real quick. It's been a minute since I looked over Pacquiao. There was a moment in time where I knew Manny Pacquiao's resume like the back of my hand because I was constantly in debates about fucking Floyd Mayweather fucking 9-10 years ago. But you know, he's fought a lot more since then. So there he is, Mr. Manny Pacquiao, member of the Philippine House of Representatives from Sirigani. A lot of accolades here. But this is a boxing match. This ain't nobody's running for president. So let's look at the tail of the tape. That's what I want to know. Obviously, the thing that stands out, what everyone's talking about, is Manny Pacquiao is 42 years old. All right. So Pacquiao's 5'6" with the 67-inch reach. So how does that compare to Errol Spence? Well, that's 5'7", 8, 9, 3.5-inch disadvantage in height, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a 5-inch reach disadvantage. So he's at a reach and height disadvantage, which doesn't necessarily mean everything. It does mean something. If you're Freddie Roach, you're definitely looking at that disadvantage and make the right game plan. All right, so that's the tail of the tape. Let's just browse over the little old long resume of Manny Pacquiao. I don't need to go through all of it. Let's just keep it recent. We all know he lost to Floyd. A lot of Manny Pacquiao fans, it doesn't sit well with them, but that's fine. Then he beat Timothy Bradley. He beat Jesse Vargas. He lost to Jeff Horn, which obviously was a controversial situation. Then he beat Lucas Matisse. Then he beat Adrian Broner, which I think is a fucking fantastic win for Manny Pacquiao. Just given not necessarily Adrian Broner being a great fighter, but just of all of the shit talking that was involved leading into that fight. And Manny Pacquiao pretty much silenced that. And then his most recent one was Keith Thurman, which obviously is a great win for him at 40 years old at the time. And he won the WBA welterweight title. So that's pretty much it, guys. He's been at welterweight for a while. I mean, he's been fighting at welterweight for quite a while, man. He's been at welterweight. So it looks like he won the ring. That was at lightweight is when he beat Ricky Hatton is when he won the lightweight. All right, so when it was Miguel Cotto is when his journey started at welterweight. And of course, he went to super welter with Antonio Margarito, which I'm going to talk about because Antonio Margarito is actually relevant, I think, in my opinion, when it comes to this fight. But he's been in welterweight for a long time. Long time. So basically since 2009, he's been either a welterweight or a super welterweight, but he's basically comfortable at 147. Let's just put it that way. Most comfortable anyway. So yeah, guys, I mean, the Mayweather fight was obviously a unanimous decision. I'm not going to talk about the Jeff Horn fight. I mean, that's an unfortunate blemish there. But he lost to Floyd in a UD. And, of course, we all remember the KO he suffered against Juan Manuel Marquez in their final fight of their trilogy. So he actually took back-to-back losses. He lost to Timothy Bradley in split decision, which he did avenge. He did avenge that a few years later. And then, of course, he got knocked out by Marquez. So there it is, guys. Now, enough of that. Let's get into this fight. Typically, this is what I like to do. I like to go through the facts. So you guys don't know. You guys don't think I'm trying to pull a slick one. And just go through the numbers, go through the fights, and look at recent losses, look at recent wins. How did they lose? What weight were they at? What belt did they lose? What belt did they win? Etc. Etc. So now we all got that. A lot of comments in here. Black Superman, what's good, man? Man, it's good to see you in the chat. I missed you the other night. It got heated up in here, bro. I didn't see you in here, or maybe you didn't comment. Cristiano, here we go. Pacquiao's 8-division champ title can't be looked at as a good thing or a bad thing. He moved up and defeated bigger opponents, but he was really the number one guy in any weight classes. He was always number 2. Okay. Freddie says, Manny, early rounds. I'm gonna let you guys are all tuning in. I haven't even said anything about the fight yet. I was busy going through the tail of the tape and the resumes, but you guys are already chiming in. I appreciate that. So I'll let you guys speak, and I'll browse through it before I give you guys my thoughts. Manny, early rounds, Spence middle to late. Pac steals a round or 2 late for a split decision. So, Freddie, you got Mac by a split decision, or Pac, you got Pac by a split decision? That's interesting. Nitty G, what's good, man? Good to see you. Black Superman says, when Spence beats Manny, I don't want to hear shit about him being too old. Big facts. Big facts. For real. Because everyone's building him up right now about he 42, but it don't mean shit. Spence he's bit off more than he can chew. Manny's ready for this. He's in shape. He's going to prove to the world that age is just a number. Because that's what they're saying right now. That's what Manny Pacquiao himself is saying. So if you lose, no disrespect, no dishonor, but take your loss as a man. All right? None of this, I'm 42 and my shoulder hurts. I'm 42 and my back hurts. I'm 42 and I fell down the stairs a day before the fight and I fucked up my ankle. Nah. Take it like a man. And it doesn't really change anything. You're still going to be a Hall of Famer. You're still going to go down as one of the best fighters of this generation. And don't tarnish it by using age or other excuses. Please. I had enough. All right. Spence has so many weaknesses, even with his roided ass. Damn. Spence on roids? That's the first one I've heard that. I don't know, Ski. What's going on here, bro? When Pac wins, I don't want to hear shit about a car wreck. That's my boy Freddie right there. All right. So Cristiano says Spence is bigger, Spence is younger, and Spence is badder. And I mean bad. Dude was drunk driving, going over 100 miles and crashed. Hey, for real though. Darren Davis says that's cap. Spence has never tested positive for shit. I mean, this guy came out and said Spence is on roids. I put the brakes on real quick. You know what I mean? If Pac KOs him, Spence is done. Just like Foreman versus Moore. Ooh. I don't know if he's done. I mean, I don't know if he's done, but it'll make some waves. That's for damn sure. He may rethink his career. That's for sure. Shout out Devon. Spence, the favorite, and regardless if Manny loses, he still got balls fighting one of the best today. Yeah, I mean, Manny Pacquiao, it's really a no-lose situation for him, to be honest. Unless he gets knocked out in the first round. But that ain't going to happen. So you go out there, you put it all on the line, you give people a good fight, you know what I mean? And win or lose, it doesn't really matter at 42 years old. You feel me? All right. So I caught up with the chats here. Now, let me stretch and rotate my shoulders back. And it's your boy Devon's turn. And by the way, I got Linar backstage. He's been wanting, as a matter of fact, I would probably say he's probably been dying to get into this conversation. I'm going to bring you in just in a moment, Linar. just want to say a few things real quickly. If you're just joining, the link to go to backstage to talk with me about this topic is in the chat. Feel free to click on it. You can wait backstage. I'll bring you in, give you some time to speak about it. In the meantime, if there's something that you really, really, really want to say, you want to catch my attention, you can pop in the super chat, of course. And of course, you guys are all loyal, humble supporters of mine. I appreciate you. Anytime you want to show some love and support to the channel, super chat's there, of course. So, look, as I said, I made 2 videos about this fight. It's already up on my channel. You can check it out. I got part 1, part 2. Part 1, I talk a little bit more about, why Floyd Mayweather is relevant in this fight, believe it or not. I'm not going to get into it right now. If you want to know why I put that in the first video, go check it out. As I said, it's on my channel, part 1. I also talked about Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao's latest performance. That's all in part 1. Part 2 is titled Spence will outpoint Pacquiao, and these are the reasons why. So they're already on my channel. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate a few things. Now, I've already mentioned, if you just joined the live stream debate here, Pacquiao is at a height disadvantage and reach disadvantage. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean everything, because Manny Pacquiao beat the shit out of Antonio Margarito, who was like, it looked like 3 different weight classes, to be honest. So that's not, I only mention that because Spence is basically a faster, in my opinion, I want to say stronger, more durable, more well-rounded, better boxing IQ, and obviously a phenomenal amateur background, which then is really no comparison to Antonio Margarito. If you put Antonio Margarito against Spence, Spence would rip him to pieces, in my opinion. So there were times in that fight with Antonio Margarito, even though Pacquiao won, I already said it, he beat the shit out of him. But see, the thing I do here on Divine Sense Boxing, man, is I go back and watch fight to remind myself. I put my mind in as a trainer, as a coach who has worked with fighters before. And if I think to myself, okay, I'm Freddie Roach, how am I going to plan to beat Earl Spence? I'm going to go and look at the Margarito fight just based off of size, right? Because Earl's going to be bigger than Pacquiao, and Earl is just a solid, big, strong welterweight who can punch, has hand speed, goes to the body, and just has an excellent boxing pedigree. The reason why I say that is because if you go back and watch the Margarito fight, what punches did Margarito land? He didn't land very many, but what he did land were body shots. Okay? Longer reach, taller, bigger, landing body shots, okay, on Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny Pacquiao's never been known for fantastic defense. He's okay. He's improved over the years, but he is vulnerable to the body. We've seen that. We saw that against Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman got into Manny Pacquiao's body. So Earl Spence is arguably the best body puncher in the welterweight division. Another key note, Earl Spence, as a southpaw, is the best jabber in the welterweight division, in my opinion. And I don't mean like a fucking bazooka jab, take your head off jab. I'm talking about a utilized boxing 101 pedigree jab that sets his punches up. I mean, he's the best. Just like Danny Garcia has the best left hook in the welterweight division, Earl Spence has the best jab as a southpaw, okay, right hand in front in the welterweight division. Another key thing to note, and I'm going to bring in Linar, let him say what he wants to say. Another key thing to note here, Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought a southpaw in 19 fights since 2008. And that was against David Diaz. Now, that's a long time since you've fought, since you've been in a decently big fight, since you fought a southpaw. So keep that in mind. Errol Spence fought a southpaw 9 fights ago back in 2015. Now, it's, there's some distance between then and now for Errol Spence as well. But the key difference is that Manny Pacquiao's just had a shitload more fights than Errol Spence. So it doesn't seem that distant. All right. So I wanted to put that out there. It's been a long time since Pacquiao has fought a fellow southpaw. And quite frankly, this is one of the interesting things about this fight is that there are 2 southpaws fighting, especially at this level. You don't see it very often. It's very interesting. You see it in the amateurs, you see it in the lower prospect stages, but you don't see 2 high caliber southpaws go head to head and fight for these many titles. It's pretty cool, right? But the problem is that it's been a long time since Pacquiao has faced a southpaw. So we have a long period of time where he hasn't faced a southpaw. Okay, 19 fights, facing a southpaw who is a beast at the welterweight division based off of size, length, and power and body punches. All right. And he's facing, in my opinion, the best jabber as a southpaw, right hand in front, in the welterweight division. So I just want to put that out there. Just real quick, why Stan? I'm not sure if I said that properly. Good channel. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Hope you're subscribed to the channel, man. Stay a part of the conversation. And it's going to get, I have a feeling it's going to start to get heated here. I see a lot of comments. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Lennar here in just a moment. So I'll let him speak so I can try to catch up with some of these comments. But really, man, these super chats really do help me pinpoint some of these comments. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right. 1 second. All right. Cool. Let's do this. I'm going to bring in Lennar. If you guys were on the live stream last night, he came on here and he has some nice words of wisdom. Cool dude, smart. I think he's got a nice boxing IQ, so let's bring him in.
Hey, what's going on with you, Divine?
Talking, yeah, man. Talking about this fight that you've been dying to talk about, bro.
Man, I've been chopping at the bit for this. I really have. I've been chopping at the bit,
Yeah.
and just so much to cover with this fight. I mean, you just named you brought up some beautiful points. You brought up the fact that you don't see 2 high caliber southpaws go out like, especially when you have a southpaw who's an all-time great versus a southpaw who's a pound-for-pound fighter, right? So it's like it's just interesting. It really is. You don't see this does not, this happens once every blue moon, man. So it's just very interesting.
Definitely.
But when you what's gonna be, see, but this is my issue, is that I see both sides. I'm seeing it from both angles, and both sides are just like, I think, being a bit delusional. Now I'm gonna predict my win. I'm gonna say my winner, but both sides are, towards the end. But both sides are kind of like being biased towards their fighting, because both have very strong fan bases. But like, we have to be objective here. Let's just be reasonable here. Now, on paper, I'm gonna tell you, on paper, I do have Spence in my mind. I do have Spence. If you put a gun to my head, I'm going to pick Spence. And some of the reasons why I will pick Spence is a few key reasons. Is that people don't like to bring up the fact, that Manny Pacquiao is 42 years old, and they say, it doesn't matter, age is just a number. No, that does matter. And you know what I'm saying? You saw it. It mattered in the Keith Thurman fight. You know, as remember after round five, Manny Pacquiao was beating Keith Thurman's ass, but after round five he gassed, and that was it. And now you're going against somebody who has a great gas tank, who seems to come on stronger late. So
Mm.
you may have a war in the beginning of the fight, and Manny Pacquiao would probably take the majority of the rounds in the beginning of the fight. But as the fight starts to go on, especially when you haven't been in the ring in over 2 years, that has to be considered. I can't just say, oh, the 2 years was good. I can't. I'm sorry. Not at 40 plus years old. I just, logically, I can't just sit here and say that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you're going against a young, big, long, not only just one of the best jabbers in the welterweight division, one of the best jabbers in boxing, one of the best body punchers in boxing.
Yep.
It's hard to pick against that. But with that being
Mm.
said, it's not impossible because I believe Manny Pacquiao is going to bring things that's going to present some problems for Spence, the speed. You know, I think at times Spence's feet can get stuck in the mud. We kind of saw that in the Sean Porter fight.
Mm.
So definitely going to be like a clash. But I just, I have either Spence winning by a competitive UD, or I have him winning by actually a late knockout. Kind of just depends. I have to see him on a scale. But
Okay.
Manny Pacquiao, incredible fighter. We can't take anything away from him. But I think
Yeah,
he gets
definitely
lit
not.
up. Yeah, huh?
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, he like I said earlier, he's a Hall of Famer regardless of whatever happens in this fight.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's accomplished. He's earned his just due. It's just that people are not. I don't think people are thinking about this objectively, because there's no way you can give me an argument and say on paper going into this fight, you think Manny Pacquiao should be able to win.
Yeah.
Being logic,
Yeah. So let me throw something at you real quick. You brought something up that kind of caught my attention, and I was talking about the jab before I brought you in, and then you kind of reiterated and drilled home that point a little bit more. I'm all about the jab. That's just boxing 101 to me. When I watch fighters fight, and I'm like skimming through prospects and contenders and champions, I'm like, all right, who catches my eye? It's somebody who uses a jab effectively.
yes,
Um, and Triple G is another example. Uses the jab extremely effectively, and
yes,
it's always been something that I've watched from southpaws. When they're able to use their right hand effectively, because sometimes southpaws, they're just so left-handed dominant. And
yes,
one person that stands out to me is Zab Judah, right?
mm-hmm.
When he was coming up, he was just so quick and
Yeah,
just knocking dudes out. But when he got up towards the upper echelon of the division that he was in at the time, he just never had a strong right hand that can really subdue high caliber fighters. So when you're a southpaw and you can use the jab effectively, it's powerful.
it is.
So what I wanted to say is, when we look at Pacquiao and look at his fights, when he's had the most trouble, it's against fighters that use the jab well. When we look at um, the Juan Manuel Marquez fights, Marquez is a very, well-rounded boxer, counter-puncher, uses his jab. And of course, Mayweather uses the check left hook and the jab. So the whole thing about Pacquiao is that he's like a Tasmanian devil. I've always said this for all the years I've been talking about Manny Pacquiao. Even at 42 years old, he makes you uncomfortable because he has a very unorthodox style. He doesn't just stand in front of you and bob and weave. I mean, he's on the right and then he's on the left and then he's like in your face and then he's throwing combinations and he forces you to go on the back foot. And the thing about Manny Pacquiao is that he's so established and he's such a veteran that he's perfected to lure you in. You go and watch the Keith Thurman fight. And as he's gotten older, he's gotten even better at this. He just puts his hands up and he's just acting like he's waiting for you, right? And he
Yes,
lets you jab, he lets you do your thing, and all of a sudden he's like, bah, 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 bah. He's just on you,
yeah,
and he has that. And that's what gets fighters out of their game plan and when a fighter is attacked like that, they got two choices. One, punch back, or two, you step back and you defend.
Yes.
But as we know, if you're trying to block punches, Manny Pacquiao is going to get something in because the motherfucker throws 12 punches in 5 seconds, so you're going to get
Yeah.
hit. You know what I
But
mean?
but the thing about it though is when see this is the thing is that people like Floyd Mayweather and people like even Earl Spence, these guys are very disciplined in the ring. They're not gonna. They're not like certain. You know how certain fighters who go out there, they get hit, they get angry, they want to get back at you. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford is a prime example. Is when he gets hit, he gets aggravated, he gets mad, and then he wants to get. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Hit me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
hit you
true.
back. Hit me, I'm gonna hit you
Yep.
back. And you cannot be like that in boxing because that can cost you.
Yep.
So that's why when you see Earl Spence Jr., is that he doesn't seem the type of fight. He just one thing I give him is that he doesn't. He seems pretty calm in that ring. And it's not like he goes in there, he has a game plan and he sticks with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's not like he's going in there gonna like overcommit on a punch. Like you don't see that too much. He's overcommitting. When he throws shots to land, and he's very
Mm.
accurate. So when he's going in there, I don't think you have to really worry about him overcommitting, worry about him overextending any of his punches because he's very disciplined. And so and again, we're talking about a jab here. We're not talking about somebody lunging in with a punch. We're talking about a jab.
Mm.
But you're correct though. Manny Pacquiao does put his hands up and he'll let you come to bait you to counter punch you and pepper you up. That's very true. But
Mm.
how can you do that as effectively when you throwing out a quick jab, back, back, back?
Yeah.
Because you're not giving me. If I'm Manny Pacquiao and you're Earl Spence and you're just jabbing me, you're not really giving me too much where I can. If you're just jabbing me to death, you're not giving me too much room where I can counterpunch you. You're not giving me too much of
Mm.
your body for me to counterpunch you. You're not coming in too much for me to counterpunch you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I said, like you said, and I agree with you. I'm a stickler. I am an absolute stickler for jabs. I love jabs. That's
Mm.
the most important punch in boxing, and this is why when you have a great jabber, they're able to score points, just like Mayweather. When you're able to, this is why people get pissed off with the Mayweather because he hits, he doesn't get hit, and he's able to score points to win the fight.
Well,
That's
last time
go ahead. Mhm.
last time I checked, the art of the game is to hit and not be hit. Last
Yes.
time I checked.
Yes, and then that's why sometimes if you ever look at Spencer's scorecards, they tend to be a little bit wide, and the reason why is because he's jabbing, he's gathering points. Because again, boxing is a point-based system. People don't want to look at that; they want to see a street fight.
Mhm.
It seems like boxing is sport. Come on, sit there and fight. No, it's a
Yeah.
boxing match, and he seems
Yeah,
to
and
be able to. Yeah.
that that's the interesting thing about boxing that has been around since the beginning and always will be. People like the aspect of it being a blood sport. People want to see fighters go toe to toe and let's see who's the last man standing. But the thing about it is the one area where people are confused or maybe they forgot is they think that boxing has always been like that. That's not true. There's always been that one or two guys who don't like to get hit and they're slipping and they're moving and they're trying to hit you and not let you hit them. And I always
Yes.
refer back to Willie Pep, of course.
Yes.
And I mean, the dude had over 200 fights and he's probably, at least in modern day boxing, the innovator of the defensive style, and just nobody can hit him. I mean, and when you can't hit somebody, you're probably not going to win a fight. Um,
Yes.
but not to get too much on topic here. The live chat here is kind of blowing up. We got some
What they're
people
saying.
going at each other here. But look, man, I always appreciate you dropping in, man, and you know that you're always welcome. Was there anything else that you wanted to say?
I'll say this real quick, as a
Yeah.
closing, because I have to go soon as well.
Yes, sir.
Um, I want to bring up a point that people may find a little contentious, but I'm just gonna say it. I believe, and people may disagree, is Spence is a better technician than Manny Pacquiao in that ring. He's just a more skilled fighter. I've heard the notion on YouTube in the comment sections. People are saying that Manny Pacquiao is, oh, he's more skilled, and the only reason why Spence is going to win is because he's just a younger, bigger, stronger man, and that's not true. I mean, if you really break down these fighters, who has the better jab? Who has a better defense?
Mm,
Who's more fundamental? Who has the
mm,
basics down more? Spencer Pacquiao. Now,
yep.
what Pacquiao is? He's just a very fast, unorthodox X Factor type fighter. You know, he has certain things he does that is so wild and out there that befuddles his opponents, and he beats them to a pulp. He is a great fighter in his own right. But if you're talking about as a fundamental fighter who's a more skilled fighter, bro, that's Earl Spence. I mean, if anybody who watches boxing knows that, you know what I'm saying. If you have any ounce of a boxing eye, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So
For sure.
yeah, so I just want to put that out there. But my prediction is I have Earl Spence Jr. It's gonna be a very close fight though. Don't when I say all these things, Manny Pacquiao is just an X Factor type fighter. He can pull out miracles, and he's just a really great really good. He has intangibles, and he's a really great fighter. So I have it a 7 rounds to 5 type of victory, or I could see him stopping him in the 11th or 12th round because he has his strength and conditioning coach back, Blu-ray Fitness, and many people don't know about the wonders he did for Spencer's career. You know, having 11 straight knockouts. So depending how he looks on the scales is when I'll make my final prediction. But yes, I do have Mr. Spence Jr. winning the fight though. But I give Manny Pacquiao his credit because he didn't have to take this fight, and he's taking a young, hungry, strong in his prime welterweight. So, with that being said, though, appreciate the time, Divine.
Yes, sir.
All
Yeah,
right,
man. Yeah, like I said, you're always welcome. It's always good to hear your thoughts. And I know you said you got to go soon, but hopefully, I'm probably going to go on for another 15 to 20 minutes or so. So come back and listen to the end of the live stream when you get a chance.
yeah. See, and look at this guy, Sky Dragonov, the comment section. Spence can't even throw a proper jab. What are you talking about? Spence has poor mechanics, can't hurt a fly. See, and the people
uh,
don't. These are more Manny Pacquiao fans who haven't even heard of Earl Spence Jr., who just thinks he's a nobody, and that's just
uh,
what they're gonna find out. All right, so I see you
Facts.
later, Divine.
All right, brother.
Bye.
All right. So that was Lennar, man. He's been a part of the channel for a while, and he's been waiting for quite some time. The man's been hitting me up. Yo, Divine, when are you going to talk about this fight? Divine, I got to talk about this fight. So we got to go in here, man. And look, man, I see the comments, the live stream chat here. You guys are sparring in the live chat. That's what I like to see. Keep it lively. Let me go ahead and just read through some of these chats real quick, or these little live stream chats, because like I said, you guys are going wild up in here. All right. Jaron Davis, bro, what's good, man? It's good to see you. It's always good to see you, man. Freddie Ruger, brother, if you holding on to Spence giving Mayweather a black eye and sparring, you don't know shit about boxing. Spence don't got technique, laugh out loud, predictable combinations of movement. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. These dudes in here straight trolling. Well, it happens. Who hits harder, Juan Manuel Marquez or Spence? Okay, I'll answer that. I don't know if it's directed towards me, but it is in my live stream, so I'll go ahead and answer it. Spence hits harder. Pretty clear on that. Marquez is a counterpuncher. He caught Manny Pacquiao with the perfect punch, timed it, landed it right on the button, right on the sweet spot. And look, man, Manny Pacquiao's got a hell of a chin. This man has been in some hellacious wars in his career and has taken some hellacious shots from much bigger men, and it's just a perfect shot. But Spence definitely has more power. What else we got going in here, man? What advantages does Spence bring besides size and youth? What's good, Quincy L? I'm not sure if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, consider subscribing, bro. Stay a part of the conversation because we're going to continue to talk about these type of fights. especially this fight as it continues to inch closer to fight night. What advantages does Spence bring? He brings a lot. I mean, we were just talking about it. Me and my boy Linar were just talking about it right now. He brings as a southpaw, because it is two southpaws going against each other here, right? I think he has a better jab than Pacquiao. I think he goes to the body better than Pacquiao. I think he has better defense than Pacquiao. I feel like he has better fundamentals than Pacquiao, and that's no knock on Pacquiao because Pacquiao has built his career on being unorthodox. But being unorthodox and being fundamentally sound is kind of like an oxymoron. It's not a knock. It's just what it is. So he has a lot of advantages. If you're asking my opinion, that's my opinion. Now, what does Pacquiao have over Spence? Just for sake of argument, I think he has a bit faster hands. He has faster hands. He has faster feet. But Pacquiao normally always has faster hands than his opponents. He has faster hands than Mayweather. Well, putting combinations, his hands are faster. When we're talking about pot shotting, jab, check left hook, Mayweather's faster. But Pacquiao generally always has faster hands than everyone that he fights, and he always has better footwork, like quick footwork to cut off the distance, because Manny Pacquiao has built a career off being shorter and having a less reach, and he's perfected the art of getting into range and landing shots. And we go back to the Keith Thurman fight. Keith Thurman obviously was bigger, taller, more reach, as well as Errol Spence will have. But if you look back at the knockdown, what was like the second round, he caught Thurman going backwards. He was lunging at Thurman. Thurman was backpedaling, and he had his chin up in the air. And Manny Pacquiao just caught him. You know what I mean? Going backwards. And so he has perfected the ability to cut the distance, work where he can land his punches. And Pacquiao doesn't mind taking a punch sometimes to land 3 or 4 punches. So that's his advantages. So look, man, I mean, we're debating a fight here. We're weighing the pros and cons. We're looking at the attributes. We're looking at weaknesses. But for me, they're slightly favoring Spence, unless you can prove me wrong, change my mind. Kairos Karna, Facts Divine, and that will get Spence to win. I appreciate you, bro. Stay part of the conversation, man. I have a feeling it's about to get heated up in here. Pacquiao's seen these quote unquote fundamentally sound fighter a million times. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I don't want people to take an offense to what I'm saying, because sometimes Pacquiao fans do that, unfortunately. And if you are an objective Pacquiao fan, which I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Quincy, I'm going to assume that you are an objective an objective Pacquiao fan. But unfortunately, there's a lot of Pacquiao fans out there who are Pacquiao fans because they just like Pacquiao. They don't care what anybody else says. I'm just a Pacquiao fan regardless. Maybe you're a Filipino and you want to be loyal to your countrymen and support your country, which is great. Spence is an American. I probably, if I wasn't that savvy about boxing, I'd probably go for Errol Spence just for the simple fact that he's an American. But when you come in and try to debate people about styles and debate people about who's going to win a fight, you definitely don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight. And what I mean by that is I'm not here to discredit Manny Pacquiao. I give him all the accolades and respect that he deserves as being a future Hall of Fame fighter. But look, fundamentally sound fighters, I mean, he had some wars with Marquez and got knocked out badly against Marquez, who is a fundamentally sound fighter. He lost to Eric Morales, who was a fundamentally sound fighter. He lost to Mayweather, who was a fundamentally sound fighter. And he lost to Timothy Bradley the first time, who is a pretty fundamentally sound fighter who doesn't have punching power. So, yeah, I mean, look, is Spence going to fight like Mayweather? No. Is Spence going to fight like Bradley? No. He will give Pacquiao opportunities. He will step to him. He will test Pacquiao's power. He will test Pacquiao's speed. He has to, at some point in the fight, figure out the range. He's going to have to try to figure out Manny Pacquiao's rhythm. And we're going to see if he can do it. You know, his boxing pedigree says that he can. You know, his resume says that he should be able to. But we'll see if he can. But I just don't want people to feel like, oh, this is another dude out here hating on Pacquiao. Look, man, like for me, I look at a fight. I see two men about to face off. I look at the dude at the left and I look at the dude at the right, and I break it down from top to bottom. Tail to tape, resume, wins, losses, you know, how they lost, how they won. I look at everything, and then I look at the styles. Then I look at the sweet science. And then I use my eyes to interpret and imagine how I see the fight's going to happen based off of my experience. Being a strength and conditioning coach is what I do for a living. I've worked with fighters, boxers, MMA, Muay Thai fighters as a cut man and a strength and conditioning coach. So I use my experience by making these thoughts and making these predictions. So, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's an insult to Pac and boxing fans. This guy's a joke. See, this is what I'm talking about. I just said, you know what? I'm not going to even get into it, man. I'm not going to even get into it. Look, if you guys are going to be in here because you're Pacquiao fans and you're expecting somebody in here to bow down to Pacquiao just because you think that Pacquiao is the greatest thing that ever walked into a boxing ring, well, you came to the wrong place. I just said I give Pacquiao full credit. He deserves all of the accolades and success that he has earned. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. When his career is said and done, when people ask me about Manny Pacquiao, I'll say great fighter. Okay, but he's fighting Errol Spence. I have to look at the fight objectively. Just because I'm not picking a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao against a young, hungry lion, Errol Spence, doesn't mean I'm disrespecting Pacquiao. That means that you are a fanboy. So tread softly. All the people he lost to were counter punchers, and Spence is not known to be one. No, he's a counter power puncher. Mayweather is a defensive counter puncher. Marquez is a renowned counter puncher. I mean, that's what he was known for. Bradley is similar to Mayweather, but with less skill and less accuracy. I think that's the best way to put it. But Spence does counter. I mean, it's not his bread and butter, but you just have to watch his fights, man. I don't know what else to say about that, but he definitely is a counter puncher, but more or less, and I guess to make it easier to understand, he's just a well-rounded boxing 101 fighter. And when you have the skill sets to jab, to pivot, to defend, to go to the body, to mix it up if you have to, you have durability, you have a chin. I mean, we're all sitting here talking about Pacquiao winning. Like, okay, so what do you got? Pacquiao by decision? Because I don't think that Pacquiao is going to win by knockout. I mean, if you think that Pacquiao is going to win by knockout, then please, I mean, you got to call into the show right now and prove that shit. The link is in here. I'll drop it again right now. There it goes. If you think Pacquiao is going to win by knockout, you gotta prove that shit to me. Because not at one point, in my opinion, has Spence shown vulnerability or not being a durable fighter with the chin. I mean, he's mixed it up with Sean Porter, who's a rough and tumble fighter who constantly attacks you nonstop. You know what I mean? So you got to prove that to me, man. But if you got Pacquiao winning by decision, then that's something that we might be able to talk about. But if you're sitting up here talking about that Spence doesn't have boxing skill, then you must have been sleeping under a rock the past almost 10 years. You must have been sleeping under a rock, and you need to go back and watch some Earl Spence fights. I'm sorry. Pacquiao has never faced a Spence style. Spence can fight laterally going backwards, and he likes to go on the attack as well. Eric Morales is the closest, but there's still big differences. See, this is why I appreciate my old, long-lasting, loyal subscribers from over 10 to 12 years ago, like my boy right here, Cristiano. Because, we don't always agree, do we, Cristiano, man? We've butted heads before in the past, but I appreciate you, man, because you keep that shit real, raw, and authentic, man, and that's how we operate around here. Dejuan says, look at Spence versus the Mikey Garcia fight. What am I looking at in that fight? What are you trying to tell me? Freddie says, get him. I'm getting him, man. My tolerance is not very, very high. My patience is low when people come in here to question my boxing knowledge. You can come in here and say you think Pacquiao is going to win. That's fine. You might list out some examples or reasons of why you think Pacquiao is going to win. That's fine. But if you're going to come in here and say, oh, this dude doesn't know about boxing, then we got a problem. You're going to come in here just to drop a comment. You out here getting so upset about Mayweather pot shotting, and that's what you're doing on my channel. You're coming over here and pot shotting and then leaving and not proving a point. You're coming over here accusing me that I don't know about boxing, then prove me wrong. I dropped the link. Call in. Call in. I'll put you on. This guy don't answer question. Where is his beat? What questions? I'm going through. Look, man. If you got a question that you want to ask, then ask it. And if you really want to know, if you really want to ask something, you want it answered, then put a super chat in here. If you don't got $1 to put in on a super chat because you're getting upset that I'm not answering your question, then I guess you don't want to ask it bad enough. Quincy said Spence has no head movement. Styles make fights, man. He's not the best at head movement. He doesn't have a peekaboo style, but his defense is solid. His high guard is very solid. He knows how to use his shoulder to defend as well. Guys, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, go watch more Earl Spence fights, please. Justice 104 win. I'm not a fan of any one fighter. I just know boxing. Okay. Well, you called it. So Spence has to step back, left counter. That's it. I don't agree with that. Man. He has a lot more skills than that. Spence can't counterpunch shit. What are you talking about? Laugh out loud. Spence is a slugger. Only this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Look, I'm letting you stay into the chat because I'm a nice guy. But I'm getting to the point now, if this ridiculousness continues, then I probably won't be able to stand it no more unless you're going to call into the show and we can debate it as men, because this is just silliness right here. Spence is a slugger? Really? Really? All I know for sure is Fury dodged a bullet today. What bullet? Bring me up to speed. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I do have Pack by SD, but the things that these Pack fans are saying are ridiculous. It's pretty much mind blowing, Freddie. What's going on here, Freddie? Spence's stylistic weakness is Pacquiao style. The facts that can't deal with irky jerky, just like Spetnik and Porter. Spence gonna get knocked out. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll be here. If Spence get knocked out, I'll be here. Uh, Erky jerky. Just, I mean, I don't know what I'm reading, bro. You guys are killing me. Trust me, I've been a Spence fan for years. I don't. Contrary to popular belief, I never considered Mayweather to be a counterpuncher, though he is a great at counterpunching. He purely boxes to hit and not get hit. He doesn't depend on the counter. That's fair. That's fair. See, we don't always agree, do we? But that's a fair comment. See, I can deal with that. Don't know shit, yo. Uh, Banganinia, or how the fuck you say that, man. Look, man, this is your last chance. This is like the third time that you said I don't know about boxing. This is your last chance, bro. You can call in. You got a phone on you. You speak English. Call in. We can debate it then. If not, shut the fuck up or you're going to be blocked up out of here, bro. And I don't do that very often, but you're crossing the fucking line at this point, bro. Seriously. The trolls are thick today. I'm telling you. Look, man, this comes with the territory. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen, man. Soon as you go against the Pac-Man, this is what happens. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this shit longer than these dudes probably been Pacquiao fans, more than likely. More than likely. So I'm ready for battle. None of them have watched the Spence fight. From an unbiased none of them watch the Spence fight. Yeah, that's obvious, brother. From an unbiased perspective, I don't see anything stylistically that Spence brings that can cause Manny trouble. That doesn't sound like an unbiased perspective. That sounds like a biased perspective, bro. I'm sorry. If you don't think that Spence has any skill set that can trouble Manny Pacquiao, then I'm just lost for words. I'm lost for words. Moped, man, thank God you're in the channel, man. You got to set these dudes straight in here, bro, because I'm about to get lit. About to get lit up in here, Moped. Here's this guy again. It's so funny. Y'all think Spence is even a technician. A technician is a Mayweather and a Marquez. Spence throws same combination, basic movements, poor defense. Spence is literally a slugger. Oh my God, my brain is hurting now. Reading these comments. Seriously frying, like, I need to smoke a joint. For real. Reading this shit. Spence is a slugger. Do you know what a slugger is, bro? Wow. This is epic right here. This is epic. Like I thought that people were going to come in here and get upset, but this is like on another level. No basic movements, poor defense. I can't, bro. I can't do it. Pac is going to juice up hard for this fight. No comment on that. No comment. Spence throws a punch and brings his head down the line. I can see Spack. Look, man. Look. Quincy, you seem like a nice guy. You a bit nicer than these other two clowns in here. So I'll respond to you. Look, does Pacquiao have a chance to win this fight? Absolutely. Absolutely, he does. He's got the experience. He's got the resume. He's got this hand speed. He's got an unorthodox style that Spence has never seen before. And he has the ability to hurt anybody. I don't consider Pacquiao like a big, powerful puncher, but he chops you up. He lands punches throughout a fight and he wears you down. And just like Keith Thurman, he can catch you going backwards. He scores flash knockdowns all the time throughout his career. Manny Pacquiao has a shot to win this fight. Okay, so don't misunderstand. Don't get it twisted. But you guys are killing me. like literally killing me right now, where I'm at the point where I can't take it anymore. I'm just gonna cut off this live stream. To sit up here and think that Spence is just a slugger, Spence is one dimensional. Like, explain to me, how in the fuck do you win 3 national championships, gold medals, if all you are is a slugger, one dimensional? How do you beat any of the fighters that he's beaten since he's won the straps? Like this, I mean, we're not talking about a Rocky Marciano here. We're not talking about a Gene Fulmer here. We're not talking about like anybody, a Jake LaMotta. We're not talking about, those are real sluggers. Those are real brawlers. You're gonna put Earl Spence in the same category as these dudes, Jake LaMotta, Gene Fulmer, Rocky Marciano, these type of dudes? Like, for real, that's what you're saying right now. Whoa, man, the chat is lit. Mopez says, I got Spence on this one. Yeah. Yes, Pac better not be on any Philippine special voodoo herbs. I'm pretty surprised they haven't started the Pac beat Mayweather chance yet. That's coming next, bro. That's coming next. Remember that there was a mystery person who put Mayweather through in sparring, and it was revealed to be Earl Spence. Just food for thought. Yeah, I remember hearing about that shit. It's crazy that you can't respect others' opinions. You can't handle people disagreeing with you. No wonder this channel is struggling. I can't respect your opinion. The fuck are you talking about? What, I think you're confused with conceding your opinion and respecting an opinion. I'm up here. I'm allowing you to speak on my channel, bro. I'm highlighting your fucking comments on my video. That's me respecting your opinion. Just because I don't agree with you, don't get that mixed up with respect. Like, where did these dudes come from, man? What time is it in the Philippines? Go to bed, bro. It's like 1 a.m. Go to bed. You think it's bad now? Wait until you talk Canelo and Plant. The Canelo man fans come out then. Yeah, I already made bro. I made a video about Canelo and Plant, and obviously my subscribers got onto the video first, and showed some love and respect. But then the Canelo people, man, they come rushing up in there like a firestorm. I don't even think they watch the video. They just see the title. And if you ain't saying Canelo's the best ever, I mean, it's the same thing with the Pacquiao fans, man, a lot of times. Divine look like you need an Advil, bro. I need a big blunt, bro. Like, this is crazy in here, man. This is crazy. Mingus Allen, man. Respect for the super chat. Much love, man. It's good to see you though, Mangas. For real. I miss your commentary up in here. I got Spence by UD. Bodywork is gonna be the key. I mean, I've been saying it, but these guys in here, they think I'm crazy, bro. Like, you need to tell them what's up. I've been telling them about the body work. I've been telling them about the sound defense. They said this man don't got no defense, bro. Mangas, what's good, man? They said Spence ain't got no defense. For real, man. Like, I appreciate the super chat, man, though, for real. Spence is no technician, but definitely ain't no slugger either. Technician, I mean, that's a loose term. Technician, he's definitely closer to being a technician than he is being a slugger. But I'm all right with that. I mean, if that's your opinion, that's cool, man. Laugh out loud. You got to tell him what time it is. Old school shit. Like, I'm telling you, bro, for when you're like a little girl. UK dude, LOL. We are running boxing. Oh, okay. Here we go again. Here we go again with the UK. Well, thanks for stopping by, UK. Let me guess, you're probably a Fury fan too. Cairo says, I'm smoking a spliff now. Listen to clueless boxing fans talk about Spence. Yo, pass that shit, bro. I need a hit on that, bro. I need a hit. Like, this is what's crazy. Well, look, you Pacquiao supporters. I hope you guys enjoyed your time coming over here. Man, you guys were probably waiting for the moment to come into a live chat. I haven't heard. By the way, you guys are up here telling me like I don't know shit about boxing and this dude doesn't know what he's talking about, blah blah blah. But I haven't heard one solid piece of evidence on why you think Pacquiao is gonna win, other than Pacquiao's just better. That's all I heard. I haven't heard any solid breakdown. And like I said, if you feel so strongly that I don't know what I'm talking about, the link is in the chat. You can click on it. You said you're in the States. One dude said he was in the States. One dude said he was in the UK. So you speak English. Yeah. Click the link and we can chop it up right here, man to man. And if you're a woman, then man to woman. I don't know. These days, you never know. But regardless, I'm here, bro. Like, if you're just going to blow up the chat and not give any information, like it just becomes ridiculous. Like, you're not going to find another channel out here who is willing to just live debate anybody who drops in here, because that's how I operate. Don't play with me, man, when it comes to breaking down fights. Like, you must not know who I am. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, because obviously you don't know who I am. George Jung says, I'm glad I found this channel. Well, George, I'm glad you found it too, man. Make sure you subscribe, stay a part of the conversation. And enjoy the show, man, because you know, it gets a little bit lopsided sometimes, man. PJ Hakeem Master, maybe. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. I think we're lucky as fans to get this fight. No matter who you're going for, the fans win. Fight is going to be lit, and I can't wait to see it. Hey, I'm with you 100% on that, and I've said it 1,000 times. It doesn't matter if Pacquiao wins or loses this fight. Pacquiao literally has nothing to lose. Spence has a lot to lose. Spence has got to make sure he comes out and gets the job done, because if he loses this fight, that's bad for his career, in my opinion. But Pacquiao, man, look, man, 42 years old, has proven himself in the sport. If he loses, everybody's gonna hold him up in high regard. Regardless, man, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? And but I agree with you. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think it's a fight that more people should be talking about. You don't know me, bro. You don't know me, bro. Okay, look, you know me, right? You know me, right? All right, look, the time's ticking. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Here's the link right here. I put it in here like fucking 10 times. There's the link right there. You got 1 minute. You said you know me, right? You ain't worried about me. You know what you're talking about? Cool. There's the link. Click that link right there. I just put in there. Divine Sense Reborn right there. Click that link. And you can tell me how much you know me and how much more you know about boxing than me. So click it. You got 1 minute. If you don't click on this shit in 1 minute, bro, I'm fucking kicking you out of the live stream, man. Game Course says Spence is going to beat up Pac. Oh. Yeah, love Fury and agree with the boxing world. Tyson is the most skilled heavyweight of this generation. Nobody wants to see Fury beat the crap out of Mr. Excuses again. Want to talk? I'm gonna keep this about Pacquiao. Pacquiao and Spence tonight. But look, Justice, like I talk about Wilder and Fury plenty. So you're more than welcome to come on and talk about that if you feel like you want to talk about it. Just make sure that you keep an eye on my channel because I usually go live pretty much every day around this time, and I have no problem bringing you on, bro, if that's what you want to talk about. You got about 30 seconds to click that link. I want to watch this with your 20 Filipino family members is all I'm saying. I'm not sure who you're directing that towards. Yeah, Justice 100. Cool. Yeah, man. Like, look, man. I don't know what some of these dudes in here are talking about, man. Like, fair. It's always fair play. And if you come in here and have a discussion, I'm gonna give you your time to speak. I'll give you the platform. I won't cut you off, and it's fair. I'm a very fair and transparent person. And I don't have a problem with other people's opinions. The fact that people have other opinions than mine makes life interesting. If we agreed on everything, life would be boring. But what I won't allow is some of this silly ass shit just typing away, but yet don't have the courage to actually use their voice to really say how they feel. I probably study Spence more than most of these Spence fans. Okay, cool. Spence is the real boxing boogeyman. UK boxing energy is weird. Y'all stay on YouTube just to act weird and then talk trash all the time. Well, Moped, the man said he'll come on here and have a conversation with me about Fury and Wilder. So let's see if he's a man of his word. And he'll have to keep an eye on the channel and catch me when I'm on here live talking about it. Let's see if he comes in, Moped, and make sure you got your popcorn ready, Moped, when that day happens. Divine, are you watching Joe Joyce versus Takam tonight? That's a good question, actually. So I'm overseas, man, at the moment. It's really late for me. So tonight will be morning for me. I'll try to hit it up, bro. I'll try to hit it up. I might do some post-fight thoughts. All right, well, your time ran out, bro. So I gave you plenty of opportunities. All you want to do is talk shit, and you don't want to click on the link. You said you are in the States or something, whatever, so you can't use the fact you obviously can write fucking English. So look, man, you got to go, bro. Like, I hate to do this. I don't do this very often, but you got to go. Naman says, want to watch Bud versus Earl. I'm going to be talking about that fight soon. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can come on here. I said here earlier, guys, if you think that Pac's going to win the fight, that's fine. You can come on here and say, I think Pac's a better fighter. I think he's got better skill. I think Spence is not good at this or good at that. That doesn't bother me. But what crosses the line is when you say, I don't know anything about boxing. You say that I don't treat people fairly. I don't answer questions and shit like that, which is literally the complete opposite of who I am. It's just disrespectful. And, you know, the line in the sand is drawn. You know, you cross that line. This is the kingdom of divine sense boxing. I conduct business the way I want to conduct business over here. And we can agree, we can disagree, or we can agree to disagree, but we keep this shit respectful up in here. Because I don't go to your house disrespecting you. And I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm willing to prove it. That's why I put the link in the chat. If I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not willing to prove it, and I'm just some dude up here chatting, talking shit out of my ass, trust me, I ain't gonna put a link in the live chat. I just put it to you that way. But enough of that silliness. Look, I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow. I got a video coming about Fury. I might drop a little teaser video about Bud and Porter. And then I might go live around this time and talk about and open the discussion about Fury and Wilder, because I heard there's some new developments. And I'll open the floor for anyone who wants to jump in and have a conversation and call in and wait backstage, and I'll bring you in. But I think I've pretty much chopped it up. I've let people speak. I've dealt with the live chat. Some of my dudes popped in. Some people that didn't agree with me, and some people who were just disrespectful. But regardless, it's been an hour and a half. Pretty much said what I've wanted to say. For the most part, if anybody's got any questions for me, I'll stay on for about another 5-10 minutes. Now will be the time to ask. But yeah, in a nutshell, just a quick little recap for those who joined a little bit late. And this will be on my channel later, so you can always go back and watch it. But key points that I want to point out, that I've already pointed out, but like I said, I'll recap. It's been 19 fights since Manny Pacquiao has fought a fellow southpaw. Last time he fought a southpaw was against David Diaz in 2008. Last time Earl Spence fought a southpaw was in 2015, which is 9 fights ago. So pretty big gap there. Obviously, Pacquiao is at a height disadvantage and a reach disadvantage. I also pointed out that, I wanted to remind people that Earl Spence is a 3-time U.S. national champion, gold medals. And I pointed out that I feel like Earl Spence, for a southpaw, is one of the best jabbers in the welterweight division. He fits in his 5'9.5" frame with a 72-inch reach very nicely. He's a very, very solid welterweight. So he's not going to be easily pushed around or bullied. And I feel like the one place that Manny Pacquiao is vulnerable is to the body. And Spence, along with being the best jabber, I believe, in the welterweight division as a southpaw, I think he's the best body puncher as well, the most effective body puncher as well. So with those elements said, as of right now, my mind hasn't been changed since, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago when I made my videos on my channel. I got Spence winning this fight by unanimous decision. Possibly late round stoppage. But I'm going to go with decision. I think he's just going to put in the work, man. Pacquiao will have his moments. He always does. But I just think that Spence will just be the more well-rounded, precise puncher. Youth will be on his side. And I think that he'll win convincingly. But look, I'm looking forward to this fight for so many levels, not just because I think Spence is going to win the fight, but also because it's just very interesting. Old lion versus young lion. It's great for the sport. We've been down this road many times throughout boxing history. It's kind of, reminds me of, Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis, when Joe Louis was an old lion and Rocky Marciano was the young lion. And even when Rocky Marciano fought Archie Moore, and Ezra Charles and others. And so normally the young, hungry lion comes out on top. But, Manny Pacquiao is not normal. He is a extraordinary 42-year-old who does have a chance to pull this off. So that makes this fight interesting. But the way I see it is the way I see it. And, for those of you who know me and how I break down fights and predict fights, I got some of my old time subscribers on here who have known me for a long time. I'm known in this community for predicting fights accurately. So I'll just leave it at that. So I don't really know what else to say. If you guys want more detail in regards to this fight and what I've said about this fight, I'll go ahead and share with you real quickly before I leave on how to find the videos quickly. I made a part 1 and part 2 talking about this fight. The part 1s, people got upset, unfortunately. But, just like the live chat today, we can deal with it. We can handle it. All right, let me go ahead and share this with you guys, man. So just real quickly, so you guys, if you guys want to hear more thoughts, obviously I just compressed everything there. All right, it's here. All right, guys. So if you go to my channel here, if you guys want to hear more about Pacquiao Spence, I actually got a playlist entitled Pacquiao Spence. Let me blow this up a little bit so you guys can see. All right. So yeah, I got part 1 right here. This is my part 2. I did a live stream talking about the press conference, if you want to go and hear my thoughts about that. And so that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want to hear more of what I have to say about this fight, the second one, the part 2, is probably more interesting because it's more to the point on why I think Spence is going to win the fight. So you guys can go and check it out, man. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just browse through the chats real quick before I go to make sure I didn't miss anything important. Spence is the most cheater and welterweight, always low blowing and shit. Okay. How can Spence be one-dimensional when he showed against Mikey and Porter two-toed styles? One, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to highlight that shit right there. Let's talk fighting. Facts. Danny gave Spence trouble when Danny actually... yeah. Danny's tough for anybody. When I said that... Spence has the best jab in the welterweight division, in my opinion, I feel like Danny Garcia has the best left hook in the welterweight division. Danny's a problem for anybody. And beating Danny is nothing to sneeze at or laugh at. Let's top fighting. Yeah. All right. Justice 100 former Spence isn't the number 1 welterweight for not having any boxing skill. He's the number 1 for a reason. Facts. Highlight it. Southpaw opponent. This Daquan says, I think it'll be a close fight. I think it will be too, man. I think it's going to be a good fight. But not close to the point where it'll be controversial, in my opinion. I think Spence will win it clean enough. But Pacquiao will have moments, man. I can see the crowd getting into it, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Guys like in Pacquiao still think it's 2010. Father Time knocking on the door. Ooh, the man's 42. Dwan, just now seeing this super chat from Dwan Menzies. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for all the support. Every single super chat that comes through goes a long way. It continues to motivate me to do these type of conversations with you guys and debates, especially since, I'm on the other side of the world. So I do this stuff at midnight, 1, sometimes 2 a.m. So every super chat really does mean a lot. I appreciate it. Can you do a fantasy matchup / breakdown between Salvador Sanchez and Juan Manuel Marquez? All right, cool, bro. Since you put the super chat in there, I will grant your request. I'll do it within the week. Fantasy matchup, Salvador Sanchez and Juan Manuel Marquez. No doubt, bro. Only because you did the super chat, though. All right? Appreciate you. Danny was checked out for the fight. Actually, fighting a southpaw is a problem for Pac-Man. Removes the blind spots advantage he has over an orthodox fighter. Facts. And it's been 19 fights since he's fought a southpaw. All right, guys. So I just ran through all the comments real quick. I think that's it for me tonight. It's really late. I need to get some sleep. But it's always a pleasure. And much respect, as always, for everybody who takes the time out of their day to join in. Like I said, I got a lot of interesting stuff coming up. I got Tyson Fury live probably this time tomorrow. So make sure you join for that, because anytime that conversation comes up, it's always heated. You guys know how that shit goes. I got Bud Crawford and Sean Porter. I'm going to talk about that. That might just be a normal upload, so keep an eye out on that. And I've had some subscribers telling me that they haven't been getting notifications when I go live or when I drop videos. I've already hit up YouTube about that shit. But in the meantime, make sure you have that notification bell clicked, because that does help. Even for me, when I go on Boxing Ego, for example, a lot of times this shit doesn't pop up. But when I hit the notification bell, I started seeing them more often. So just FYI, heads up. Let's Talk Fighting. Shout out Divine. Appreciate the technical analysis. That's what I do, man. All day, every day. That's what I do. People don't respect it. It don't matter, because the truth hurts. You feel me? All right, guys. I appreciate you. I'll be back on here live around this time tomorrow, maybe a bit earlier. I try not to go this late, to be honest. It's super, super late for me. But I will definitely be on here tomorrow, maybe around like noon, 11 a.m. noon. So be on the lookout, and be on the lookout for that Bud Crawford, Sean Porter teaser. All right, guys, stay up, be easy. I'm out.